Hey guys, welcome to Math Challenges with Mrs. Taylor. Today's topic is fractions. What do you know about 1/4? Think about that fraction, 1/4, and what it means to you. Maybe times you've seen it before, connections you can make, and just tell us everything that you know about 1/4. You can even pause this video while you think about it and write down your ideas. The next question is, how many different ways can you show 1/4? So, thinking about that same fraction, 1/4, what are some other things you know of that are equal to 1/4, or just different ways you could create that fraction? This morning, Kinsey and I made muffins. We made pumpkin muffins. And while we were making muffins, we found real life examples of these questions. So we had to do some measuring of our ingredients, and that involved measuring with 1/4, or in some cases, needing a different measurement and only having 1/4, and having to figure out how that fraction connects to others. So you can keep watching this video to see how Kinsey and I solve some real life problems with the fraction 1/4. After those videos, I'll ask you the questions again and see if you can build on your ideas. And then there's a super bonus question at the end, connects fractions to some other things you might be studying in math right now, too. We have 1 cup, and then this is 1/4 a cup.
Yes.
What do you know about 1/4 a cup?
Well, 1/4 a cup is not 1 cup.
True.
And if you use a circle,
Mm-hmm.
you can mark spots on it. Like when you get to the spot where each side bears, you have to make it so you color in part of it. So when you get it to, there's one color on one side and never color on the other side. That's a half. And this is more than a half.
Is it more than a half?
Less than half.
Well, what do you think? How can you figure that out? This is a 1/2 a cup.
And this is smaller.
Ah,
And that means that when you're in this way when we're cooking, this will hold less than this.
mm-hmm.
But this fits perfectly in it, so you might think that they're the same, but when you do it side by side, this one has just the slightest bit bigger. You could make them have the same amount by piling it up, but in cooking you're supposed to make it right above the top.
Like level.
You have?
Well, I have this 1/4 of a teaspoon for measuring. I don't have a whole teaspoon, but I need to put a whole teaspoon of this cinnamon in those muffins. What do I do?
Well, you do not just dump the cinnamon in because you cannot measure by looking.
Right, so I should use a measuring spoon, but it's not exactly what I need. It's 1/4 of a teaspoon, and I need a whole teaspoon.
A whole teaspoon. So that means if it's just a 1/4 and we're not making a half, like I said earlier, it would be 4 of these 4, so double 4.
For double 4, 8?
No! I mean no, double 4, we need 4 fourths.
We need 4 of those. Yeah. Okay, cool. What do you know about 1/4? Maybe you know more about it now. Maybe you made a new connection. If you did, pause your video for a second and add to your thinking. Tell us more about what you know about 1/4. How many different ways can you show 1/4? Maybe you've thought of some new ways now. Maybe you understand it better. If you need to, pause your video while you write down some more ways that you can show 1/4. And here are the super bonus questions. I've heard that at least some of you guys have been talking about money and time too. So, thinking about 1/4, how could you show 1/4 with money? What does that look like using coins, using parts of a dollar, or parts of $20, or parts of $100? What are all the different ways you can think of to show one fourth with money? And then, how could you show one fourth with time? What does one fourth look like when we're telling time? Fourth of an hour? I don't know, a fourth of a day? What could that look like? Challenge yourself and let us know what you came up with. Next time, we'll be challenging ourselves with something new. Bye for now, guys.